Hello, it's Nikki. Sorry about the weird Care Bear light, but I'm doing my best and working with what I've got. February light, spring light is trying to come through, so I'm definitely welcoming it. Here's one of the questions that I get a lot. And I want to give you some really practical things that you can incorporate into your day, your week, and the way that you run your life and business. And these topics are really open-ended. And so you can use this like a pick and mix, a platter, a grazing board that you can pick and choose from whenever you need to. And I found it in my own life to be really grounding. It's also been a lovely support when I've had moments in my life, and I've always talked about this. I'm really ambitious. There's so many things that I want to do. I wake up in the middle of the night with loads of ideas. And sometimes, I feel like there's never enough time in the day. And sometimes it can feel a lot with kids and home and last minute things from the school that I hadn't thought about or whatever it might be. So I want to give you 7 topics that I like to play in when I'm looking to make big progress in my business and in my life. And I want to give you an analogy today of the importance of working with both sides of that. So if you go on a long haul flight, for example, a lot of that flight, you will feel like you're up in the air, you're making progress, you're elevating, it all feels like a great experience. But equally, that plane and its staff are so smart about their boundaries. They will tell you, we need to refuel at these stages. We need a staff shift around. We don't fly all the way to Australia. You're going to have to stop in Singapore or Dubai or wherever it might be. So they have that understanding that it's so important when you are flying, when you are progressing, that there needs to be this sense of groundedness. This will also speak to you if you've got all of the ideas, but you don't know how to get started, or you're struggling on where to focus or what to do. So here are some things that I can share. Number 1, be inspired. This is a very key part of my week in my business, in my life, in the way that I parent. I am always looking for inspiration, to ways to feel good. I'm thinking about my environment. I'm setting myself up for success. And it all starts for me in the way I feel. If I feel good, if I feel expansive, I'm going to operate from that state rather than feeling squashed and small and like I don't know what to do. So whenever I get stuck, I go to this thing. Be inspired. What do I need to listen to? Who knows the answer that I'm really struggling with? Who can I ask? How can I get myself into that state and really make some moves? The second one, which you might think might be the last one, but it isn't. I'm going to put it as number 2. Rest. When you are progressing, when you are elevating, when you are moving and shaking and moving out of your comfort zone and doing great things, rest has to be a priority. And you would think it works the other way. There's always more hours in the day. There's always other things that we can do. But your body will require that rest. And sometimes that is moving away from your laptop. Sometimes it's lying on your living room floor in the middle of the day. Sometimes it's going to bed at 10 to 8, which is a time of day you've not seen since you were grounded in 1999. Sometimes we have to do weird things. And the amount of times especially when my children were tiny, I just go to bed at the same time as them because my body couldn't stay up a minute longer. And yes, I know that I would have made more progress with my business if I'd worked between, say, 7 and 10 and then gone to bed. But I knew that if I kept staying up later and later and losing less and less sleep, more and more sleep, I know that the next day wouldn't have been productive. So think about those things that really recharge you, that reset you, that give you that moment of, and it's almost like we can hear it with our computers. Yes, we can leave our laptops on all the time, but those moments where we press shut down and the laptop goes down, you can almost hear that sigh of relief, like, oh, thank gosh, she's done that. Like, oof, I've been working all day. Like, I was showing her the spinning disc and she ignored me. Yeah, there's a really great thing in that. Number 3, I like to be in a place where I can generate ideas. So for me, that's movement, that's journaling, that's in conversation, that's mind mapping. And being in a state of generating ideas allows you to be in that beginner's mindset, that openness, that like, oh, how can we do this better? How can I add a new spin to this? And I'm always asking myself, and I know lots of people might do the opposite, like, well, I've been doing this for ages. I'll just regurgitate the old stuff. But I know if I do that too much, you can almost feel like that staleness to it. And again, I'm not saying that you have to always reinvent the wheels, but I do think, like me more so with my partner rather than my children, if I cook something different, unexpected, a recipe from one of our recipe books that's been gathering dust on a Wednesday night, it can change our whole week. That sense of like, ooh, we're going to try this. What should we do next week? It opens things up. So whatever situation you're in, whatever capacity that you have, make sure that you have some places in which you can put your ideas in. That might be your notes section. I remember the amount of blog posts that I sort of formulated and put together and scripted, even in a kind of bullet notebook form, when I was feeding my baby for hours on end in the chair. By the time I came to write them, I was like, okay, I know what to say. Maybe you have a notebook next to your bed. Maybe you're adding to a big piece of paper, whatever it might be. Make sure you have a space to generate ideas and then collect them. Number 4, heal and process. This has been so key because when you feel that sense of elevation and growth and change, speaking personally, but maybe it's the same for you, old stuff will come up, things that I haven't dealt with. Maybe I'll be more emotional than usual. And so I actively have to find space and tools to meet those things. And for me, my running habit has been incredible because it's really given me that time to heal and process. And but maybe for you it's meditation, maybe for you it's having strict boundaries in your business, in your life, maybe it's adding more fun into your calendar, maybe it's booking 6 sessions of therapy, whatever it might be. I know that this growth, this change, this progression will require a different version of yourself. And in doing that, it's like popping up to say hello. So finding a way where you can really understand your gaps, what's going on, what needs to be healed will really be helpful. The next one, maintain. How can you get really solid frameworks into your life and business that give you a steadiness, a groundedness that's going to protect you? And sometimes this, for me, like this is so grounding, and maybe this is why my son likes it, but me and my son have the same breakfast every single morning. I try and do things for them in terms of like getting them ready for school, where their uniform is in exactly the same place every single day. So what I'm always looking to do is to simplify and take stuff out that is unnecessary. At the weekends, things can be more flexible. We do different things and all the rest of it. But when I'm in a growth stage, the last thing I want to do is overcomplicate things. So things like batch cooking really works for me. Things like meal planning, things like doing all of the uniforms as a job lot on a Sunday really helps the rest of the week. Having systems, we've got, it all sounds really boring, I know, having a sign on our front door with a list of what my children need on each days. It takes all of it's almost like you're trimming any of the unnecessary stuff out. Again, with your business, do you have great systems? Are you making it up as you go along? Do you have wobbly boundaries? Are you available at any time in any place? See if you can tighten those things up and maintain, because as you're going to that next level, that's going to really provide a strong support system. Number 6, sell and earn. I know it's lovely just to be thinking about dreaming big and living your best life, but for most of us, that requires us to earn income. And we have to be very clear and strategic as to how that's going to happen. So start by looking at your numbers. Excuse me. Oh, wow, the throat chakra. As soon as I start talking about money, I'm like, excuse me. Start looking at your numbers. Start looking at your bank account. Start coming up with a strategy of how you're going to sell and to who and how many things. Start being very familiar with your money and building a relationship with it. Don't leave it to chance. Don't hope for the best. Don't see what happens. If you are committed to that growth, again, that constant and consistent stream of income is going to really take care of you and really nurture your nervous system so you're not feeling like you're all over the shop the whole time. Finally, this makes me laugh so much. Live, laugh, love. I don't have any of those signs or ornaments or cutouts in my house. And I know people talk about these so much on the internet and kind of take the mick out of them. But I do think there is some truth to it. We're not here just to work and struggle and keep on keeping on the whole time. My goodness me, we don't know how long we've got on this planet. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. So please find that time in your life and in your business to live, laugh, love as well. Because you know what? If you do, it will create all of those good feelings. And once you start creating that as the norm, that positivity will flow into your week, into your business, into who you are, into the conversation that you might have in the supermarket with somebody that you know. Life can be challenging and pressured enough sometimes. So do the things, book them in, make that, and again, it doesn't have to be loads of money. It can be, I don't know, it can just be doing fun things. I was even talking with my kids the other day. I was like, I can't wait for us to have our dinner in the garden. And it's such a small thing, but when my eldest was little, we only had a tiny little balcony. We now have a garden. He's like, yes, what are we going to have first? And again, it's literally just moving location. Again, we went to a park the other day and we came back for lunch. And my daughter was like, I can't wait until it's sunny. We can bring our sandwiches. Good northern girl. She's not, she's southern, but it just brought a smile to my face. Live, laugh, love. And if you want to get a t-shirt or an ornament, absolutely do that as well. If you want help with your business, your life, your blend, go to the goal setting section of my website. You'll find all kinds of goodies in there. If you want one-on-one support, come and send me a message. Let me know what you want. And that's it for today. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Sending you lots of love, and I'll see you next time. Bye.